Hey everyone! One of my favorite jazz piano players is Monty, and what I love about his playing is that he combines Caribbean music with jazz in this fusion called Calypso music. And so in today's quick tip, I'm going to show you how to play Calypso Jazz Piano by showing you some different left hand and right hand patterns typical of Calypso music, and then we're going to put it together in a final song with the track. It's so much fun, I can't wait to get started, so let's begin. We're going to look at some different characteristics of jazz Calypso music, starting with the left hand. There's a typical pattern that's done in this style of music that's called a two-feel, which just means you're going to be playing half notes. And we're going to be using a 1-4-5-1 chord progression. So we have a C, then we go to the third, then we go to an F, we go to the third, we go to a G, we double the G, we go back to C, and then go to the fifth. So we have this really cool bass line that goes 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And if you added some chords in the right hand, it might sound like this. One fun way to add to the two-feel bass is to add some syncopation. And there's a really typical bass figure in jazz Calypso music that goes 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 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 1. And it's really just using chord tones. We have C, C up to the third again, to the root, root. These are just roots here. And then back to the 5 like that. And if you added in some chords, it might sound something like this. If you're enjoying today's quick tip, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more great content just like this. Now let's look at a couple of right hand rhythmic patterns. We're going to start with, again, the same chord progression, the 1, 4, 5, 1, but we're going to do what's called the on-off figure, where we go on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. So we'd sound like this. In jazz swing, we would call that the Charleston rhythm. A second right hand pattern is actually a combination of right hand and left hand, and it's creating these triads. It's still the 1-4-5-1 chord progression, but in the right hand we're playing a C major triad, root position, then we go to the 4 chord root position, we go to the 5 chord root position, and then we go to the C major in second inversion. So sometimes it's good to start with these blocked chords like this, and then we can break them up in this rhythmic pattern that sounds like this. 2, 3, 4, 1. Cool. Left hand is going to play a C major chord, but playing it in first inversion, which means we have the third on the bottom, 3, 5 root. Same thing with F. We're going to do first inversion, 3, 5 root, and for the G, 3, 5 root, and then for C major we're going to do root position. So we have first inversion, and then finally root position. And if we put the hands together slowly, it would sound like this. Next up, I'm going to show you some different harmonic progressions that are very typical in this jazz Calypso style. If you'd like to get the downloadable sheet music and backing track from today's quick tip, please click on the link below. So the harmony of jazz Calypso music is really an infusion of diatonic harmony, a lot of 1-4-5-1 chord progressions that come from the steel drum, that diatonic sound, the pentatonic kind of sound, and the jazz influence, which has a lot of dominant sevenths and major sevenths and diminished passing chords. So it's a real melding of the two styles, and I'm going to show you a couple cool chord progressions coming up. So the first chord progression is one you've already played, but it's worth mentioning again, the 1-4-5-1 chord progression. In the key of C major, rather than jumping around root position chords, for example, 1, 4, 5, 1 in root position, what we can do is when we go to the 4 chord, we go to the second inversion, F, with the C on the bottom because C is a common note. Then we can go to the first inversion G chord, which has the third on the bottom, and then back to a root position C chord. So we have, and it's fun to, as an exercise to go through and kind of break these chords up and adding some different rhythms. For example, something like this, 2, 3, 4. So have fun. Take those notes, mix them up, come up with your own rhythms. So now let's take that basic 1-4-5-1 chord progression, but add some jazz harmony. So we're going to start with our C major, but our second chord we're going to a C7 over E, then to our 4 chord, but now we're going to do a passing diminished chord. This is an F sharp diminished 7 chord, to a C chord, but now we're going to put G in the bass, to a dominant 6 chord, A7, to a dominant 2 chord, which is D9, and then back to our G7, which is 5. So we have chords changing on every 2 beats, okay? So if we played it together, it would sound like this, 2, 3, 4. So take that and then just try some different rhythms with these chords. For example, finally, we're going to put all of these elements together in a final arrangement. I wrote out a little AABA tune. It's a lot of fun. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play the song through one time, and I ask you if you'd like to join me the second time. I know it's a lot to dive in and play both hands together, so if you want to just try the left hand or just try the right hand, that's cool. We're going to have a little track with some drums in there to give it a little bit of rhythm. So have fun, and we'll see you there. If you'd like to learn more about different styles of jazz piano, please check out the many courses we have at pianowithjohnny.com. Okay, so we're going to play this final arrangement with the track. I'm going to play it the first time. On the repeat, I'll ask you to join me. And if you're not up to playing both hands, I know we're just kind of sight reading this together, you can just play one hand, right hand or left hand, and then at the end we're going to take the coda. It's so much fun, and we'll see you at the finish line. Here we go. Coda. All right, awesome. Thanks again for attending this quick tip on how to play Calypso Jazz Piano. I hope you learned a lot. I had a lot of fun working with you today, and I look forward to seeing you on another quick tip real soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the lesson, please let me know in the comments. Also, be sure to check out pianowithjohnny.com. We have over 1,000 step-by-step lessons for all playing levels where you'll learn your favorite songs, styles, and how to improvise at the piano. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.